Hey, what's up YouTube? This is Tombox here, and today's video we're going to be showcasing Predaplant Madolche Zoo. So we're going to add the Predaplant engine in here and cut out the Terratops from the previous rendition of Madolche, just because you actually get a bit more consistency in getting your Brilliant Fusion. Now in this video I'm going to show you a deck profile at the end after I perform all the combos. And why am I doing it on YGO Pro rather than in real life? I do have the deck, it's just it's such a mess to do in real life, and this is actually easier for me to actually keep track of everything. Okay, so involving the 4 combos, 2 of which involve a Magdalene and a Brilliant Fusion, and the other one involves a Scorpio, or access to Scorpio, and access to Hoot Cake. And these combos can branch out differently. Just remember these combos are technically interchangeable because you do a lot of the same steps, and if things don't go a certain way, you can obviously weave out. But this is not to go to say that there's a lot of points where it can be interrupted. But if you can go for scot-free, well, you can just go off on your opponent pretty easily. And why I'm doing this is kind of competitive. The combo itself is pretty annoying, it's pretty competitive, but definitely if it's up to speed, that's up to you to decide. And of course I'll be taking a Maxx C challenge along the way. So alright, let's get to it. Okay, so for the first combo we're going to use Brilliant Fusion and Madolche Magdalene. Bread and butter, the best combos, but usually in the previous variants of Madolche where we didn't have the ability to establish a good turn 1, this one definitely is much more defensive and can gain you a much more card advantage. So it took me a long time to figure this out, and believe me, I am very tired for trying this. I've even made mistakes after the fact of learning the combo, which is not very obvious. So we're starting off with Brilliant Fusion. We're going to get the things to go off. We're going to start with the Madolche Magdalene summon, and that's the Seraphinite summon, so we're going to add ourselves. Don't add the pudding cess. That's something I keep on tripping on. I'm going to add a Hoot Cake. Technically, I'm not adding a Hoot Cake, I'm going to be adding an Angelique, okay? Because Angelique is much more important, but those two are interchangeable at the moment. I'm going to use the Angelique to summon out... Oh, there it is, Pudding Cess. Pudding Cess is one of the key cards in this entire combo. She facilitates, well, 3 free summons. What do you know about that? Free summons? Okay, now we're gonna go with the Angelique, shuffle this back in, and we're gonna get ourselves that Hoot Cake that we so near. Specifically detaching the Seraphinite. You lose that Pudding Cess, you lose all your combos. So Hoot Cake is now summoned onto the board. Activate Hoot Cake. Detaching nothing, well, banishing the Garnet because Garnet sucks in your hand. Ugh, hate that card. We're gonna be special summoning out the Messenger Lotto, fetching our very first emergency teleport, Madolche Chateau. And thanks to the Zoodiac monster, specifically Tiger Mortar, we can trigger this one more time. Now, specifically, you have to use Broad Bowl, and we're gonna use Messenger Lotto. Messenger Lotto is key here. If you don't use Messenger Lotto, well, your combo will get stuck. We're going to use Broad Bolt to search ourselves the Fusion Substitute combo, detaching the Messenger Lotto, searching the Black Sheep. Black Sheep now is going to search ourselves the Fusion Substitute, and now we're going to go into more plays. We want to attach 1 extra material on here, and that's key to actually getting the whole thing off. And debating on what your Zoodiac lineup should be, whether you want to use like a Borbo or Hammer Kong. Hammer Kong is more defensive, that's why we're using it. But it's still just a fodder, to be honest. And we're going to go into another Blood Bowl and get ourselves an additional search of the Whiptail that we so near. Now here you have to detach one of the Zoodiacs or else you're going to fail. Get the Whiptails, and time for the Tiger Mortar Tigress. Kung Fu Panda. You should make a Panda Zoodiac monster. That'd be so cool. And now we're gonna detach the Broad Bolt, attach it onto the Chocolate mode, so the Broad Bolt's gonna go there now. Are we done yet? We're done, Mom? We're not done yet. Well, we're gonna go into the Chateau because we have a Messenger Lotto engraved, so we're gonna activate the Chateau. Chateau is going to shuffle that back in, mandatory, and then that's gonna trigger the Chocolat mode. Chocolat mode is now triggered. So angry, so triggered. And don't detach the Pudding Cess, detach the Broad Bowl. And now we're gonna get ourselves, not that same Messenger Lotto that we just put back in. This is gonna fetch us a second copy of the Chateau, which we will use again to trigger. So now we have to do an overlay. In this overlay, we're going to go into our first Digusto Emerald. Digusto Emerald is going to activate. We're going to detach that same Messenger Gelato, and we have to put back Seraphinite, Black Sheep, and we're gonna leave this Hammer Kong here because you know he's chilling. And we have to put back the Broad Bull. Coolio. I was gonna guarantee myself a draw there because this is a not shuffled deck. So the Black Sheep's been added to hand, and you know what? Let's just get rid of it so we can get a fusion sub, and we don't want to draw into a fusion sub. That would just really wreck my current hand. But normally you would not draw the same card. It's very unlikely, but you know, it's Yu-Gi-Oh! It does happen, and now we have a Digusto Emerald. But now what do we do? Well, we do have that Messenger Gelato engraved, so now you can play your second copy of Chateau. And another card. No, thank you. Put this back in. Activate her. Put the Pudding Cess in the grave, and now we're gonna summon a level 3. The only level 3 available right now because I added one of the Hood Cakes. And this is gonna give us access to our Zoo engine, which is MX Saber Invoker, and but first of all, let's summon out one of the most important monsters of the deck, Zoodiac Rapier. And here's the part where we just start going nuts. I already have the 2 fusion subs, so I have to be very careful when I make my Broad Bull later on that I detach the correct material. Alright, fusion sub. These two. I'm going to shuffle away the Emerald, and I'm going to take away the MX Saber Invoker. Going to revive a monster. I have no choice but to revive a level 4, so my only level 4 options right here. Madolche Imagining. I'll leave her on the sidelines for now, and I'm going to overlay these two together. Going into the Broad Bull. And to detach, I have to detach the Norden. So just something like that. I have no Beast Warriors left, so this rat is basically stuck there for a bit. And I'm going to detach the Norden so I can get the fusion sub to go off. And we summon out this. And note that I can special summon only a Leica and a Dryden left. Don't want to do that just yet. I want to loop my fusion sub a little bit further, so I'm going to activate Fusion Substitute. Put the Norden back. Of course, I'm going to draw Messenger Gelato. And guess what? Let's go Fusion Substitute. We're going to fuse Elder Entity Norden with these two. Norden activates, we're going to get ourselves a level 4. We don't really care about anything, so let's just get the level 4. This one doesn't matter. We're going to go into the Digusto Emerald we shuffled back in. And we're going to overlay these two together. Digusto Emerald is going to activate once more. Attaching this. Norden. Shuffling back. What do we want back this time? Let's shuffle back the Digusto Emerald that we still need. We don't need Black Sheep anymore. And let's put some Broad Bull in. Well, if you want to loop your plays, let's put in the Momorat. Give me the extra draw. Of course I'm going to draw Momorat, and now I'm going to proceed to do continue the combo as much as I can. I do have another draw available with the Fusion Substitute, so now I have a 7-card hand. Very lovely 7-card hand, and let's go into Broad Bull. From Broad Bull, I can activate it to summon out the rat. Kind of important why I'm summoning the rat. Rat is going to be able to fetch me a card. Mainly Dryden. The Dryden is now I'm going to go into a Leica. And from Leica, I'm going to activate Leica to revive that Hammer Kong in the graveyard. Hammer Kong can protect all your zoo monsters for a bit, and you do have a lot of damage. So if you so choose to go in that direction, Lots of plays to be made. You've drawn, what, you've gone through half of your deck, and this is one of the opening plays that I do enjoy with this deck. And that took me like 8 minutes to actually show you. Alright guys, so now this combo I'm going to be using Orpheus Scorpio and an Angelique or access to Hoot Cake. And Orpheus Scorpio will require 1 monster, so I'm going to have a Garnet, and I'm going to break my hand with 1 Messenger Gelato. It's not a complete break, but 1 dead card anyway. So let's start this off. Normal summon out the Orpheus Scorpio. Orpheus Scorpio activates, that's the Garnet. And we're going to summon out the Cobra, overlay these two after I get myself a search of Brilliant Fusion. Now we can go into, guess what, MXC Invoker. Basically, tour guide for you right now, but let's go into the Brilliant Fusion. Let's keep going. And Garnet and the Fairy Tale Snow, because we need the space to actually perform the combo, and you'll see why. So now to get things going, let's normal summon Angelique. Angelique effect. We're going to be summoning out the Pudding Cess. Pudding Cess has access to the Hoot Cake, although you technically already, this step is a little bit interchangeable. Okay, so let's get out the Hoot Cake first, because we want to fetch ourselves a few extra cards. Starting off by shuffling back into Angelique through Chocolate Love Mode's effect. Would you like to chain another card? No. Oh, that Fairy Tale Snow is going to get pretty annoying. Yes, I would like to activate your effect, and I'm going to detach the Seraphinite to summon out a monster called Hoot Cake. Hoot Cake effect, I am going to go ham with you, banish a Garnet. We won't see you ever again. And we're going to go into a Messenger Gelato. Messenger Gelato is going to help us fetch a card. The card we're going to fetch is the Madolche Chateau. And now we can actually access our Zoo monsters. Full board! What do you know? It's Yu-Gi-Oh! Activate anything else? No. Nothing else to activate. We're going to go into the Fusion Substitute combo. We're going to go into Broad Bowl through these 2 monsters right here. The 2 level 4. Hard going into it is very important. And now we're going to go special summon a rep here. Detaching the Messenger Gelato. Putting the rat onto the field, and we're also going to get ourselves a nice search of Black Sheep. You know what, let's get rid of the Black Sheep now because I don't want to deal with it. Chain the card, no, let's get the Fusion sub, and we can technically do it right now, can't we? We can technically do it right now, but I am not going to. I'm going to burn a couple of materials. Hammer into another Broad Bowl. Kind of important. Activate. Detach. Doesn't matter what I detach. And I'm going to add myself a Whiptail. Alright, 5 card hand, 5 card board. This doesn't count. And we're going to go into a Tiger Mortar. Wow. What do you know? Activate Tiger Mortar. Detach Hammer Kong. Target Pudding Cess. Yay, free material for Pudding Cess to go into an additional monster. Lovely play. We're going to use it later on, so don't worry about that. Now we're going to use the Broad Bowl. And anything else? No, no chain. We're good. We're good. And this is the point where I can actually play Fusion Substitute. Now, bear in mind that I do have a Messenger Gelato in there, which is the trigger point for the Pudding Cess. And time to play some Fusion Sub. Norden sending these 2. Norden's effect will activate, and I need a level 4. Now, if I didn't ditch Garnet, I would not have a Garnet engraved. The only level 4 that I can technically revive to this day, let's go with the Fairy Tale Snow that I ditched earlier. She's gonna be sent back to the graveyard anyway, so it won't matter as much. And Fairy Tale Snow has been summoned, and now we can go into our Daigusto Emerald. Daigusto Emerald's effect. You'll target 3 monsters, shuffle back. You have 3 very specific monsters that you want to shuffle back in. One being the Broad Bowl, second one being Black Sheep, and the Rat. Yeah, you're guaranteed to draw this. And I'm just gonna manipulate it slightly differently. Normally you would activate this right away, but knowing that I am pretty screwed at this very moment. If I draw right now, I'm going to draw a rat, and you'll see that I'll get a dead draw. But for now, I'm going to activate the toe, which will trigger her. And I'm going to detach the bullhorn. And now I'm going to summon out the Messenger Gelato that I just put back in. Who Kick's still on board? Guess what I'm going to fetch out? Another Chateau. And the next monster I am going into is going to be another Broad Bull. Wow, what do you know? And now I can actually summon out that rat that I did not search yet. And I haven't used my fusion sub either. So let's do this. Activate the effect, summon out the rat, detach the Messenger Gelato once again. Rat has been summoned. Man, this combo is taking forever, and I don't exactly have a search with this. Normally I would have a search, but not this time because the Black Sheep already was added to hand. And before I do anything crazy, there's a fusion sub in there. I don't want to draw a fusion sub, so I'm going to ditch this. Add the fusion sub first. And I'm going to activate the fusion sub, putting back the Norden, because I can't do the play if I don't have Norden now. Crazy good combos. Okay, let's do this. Activate the fusion sub. Norden, sending these two. Wow, Norden, welcome back. Now I need a level 4. Again, I don't want to use Messenger Gelato because I want to get another free summon off of the pudding cess, so I'm going to go with the Fairy Tale Snow. And guess who's back? Well, this is back. Once again, as expected. And I'm going to activate it to shuffle in 3 cards once again to get additional draw. Detaching. Here's the part where it kind of differs. You can't technically detach the Fairy Tale Snow because I already have a fusion monster in the graveyard, which would be Gem Knight Seraphinite. So, yeah, let's go detach. Let's do the Norden anyways, because you got the instant fusion that you want to cycle back in. And for this one, I am going to put back a Broad Bull. I don't want an MX Saber Invoker. I still have access to that. And I'm going to leave the Hammer Kong out here. And the last monster I'm going to shuffle back in would be Tiger Mortar. Cool! Alright, and now I'm actually going to activate the fusion sub. Alright. And now, time to perform another free summon. Activate. Chain this. No. But I'll activate her. So that's why I needed to put the Broad Bull on her. And now I'm going to put this out. Yes, I would like to search my Madolche ticket. And yes, I would like to special summon a Leica. Regular Exceed summon, please. Activate. Now, I'm not summoning out the rat for some reason, mainly because I want to revive a Hammer Kong. And now you put out a Trident. You have the Whiptail to kind of manipulate the Hammer Kong, or you can give an extra material to Trident. So that gives you a total of a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 card board. That is the combo. That was an 8-minute combo. Hopefully you guys didn't mind it too much. If you guys see other ways of manipulating the play, this combo is really diverse. You can manipulate as much as you want. That, I think you are in a pretty good shape. You have Maxx C Ghost over this hand anyways. You have Maxx C Ghost over Anasolum Strike, and they have a Trident on board. Your opponent's playing with 3-4 cards less in their hand, and you can protect the Trident by throwing in that Whiptail. Overall, you also have lethal damage if you choose to have it, because with the Whiptail on, you have well over 10k worth of damage. So that is the normal summon Orphan Scorpio plus an Angelique. This is what it sets up. Okay, now for this combo, we're going to go Zooless. So if I summon a Zoo combo or a Zoo monster, I fail at this and there's a Maxx C challenge. My goal is to kill my opponent from here using only Orphan Scorpio and an Angelique. Of course, I need to pay a cost. First, I'm going to use Gem Knight Garnet. And to break my hand a little, I did put a Messenger Gelato here. If you have 2 copies of Messenger Gelato, you can easily do this and you can kind of do it without kind of playing around yourself. But since I did put a Messenger Lotto here, the steps and the order matters a lot more. So I'm going to start off with the Orphis Scorpio, normal summon, ditch the Garnet because we don't like him anymore. And we're going to add the Darling Conia and special something onto the field. And that will trigger that effect. And I'm not going to pop my own card, obviously. Brilliant Fusion has been added from the Darling Conia. Cobra. And we're going to go Brilliant Fusion, put the Seraphinite on board to get the second summon. We're going to put a Fairy Tail Snow here. Mainly because I need the space this time. Without the space, I can't do it. And Fairy Tail Snow can extend the damage a little bit further. Now we're going to normal summon the Angelique. And I'm going to activate Angelique, sending Angelique to the graveyard. And we're going to be summoning out the Pudding Cess. And the Pudding Cess will basically set up the very first trigger. Yourself a free Hoot Cake. And we're going to go into Hoot Cake. And I need her here because she is a fairy type monster. I'm going to target the Angelique and put it back into the graveyard through Chocolate Pudding Cess's effect. And here's the part where it starts to get a little weird. I'm going to use her effect, but I can't abuse it this time. There's no space to abuse it, and I would actually end with a weaker board if I don't detach the Pudding Cess, because I'm trying to kill my opponent. If I'm not trying to kill my opponent, well, let's go into Zoo combo, right? And for the Zoo-less combo, we're going to detach the Pudding Cess. Would I like to activate another card? No, I am going to summon out my Hoot Cake this time. Now, before I do anything stupid, let's go into MX Saber Invoker using the two Flamboyants here, the two Predaplants, and I'm going to activate it because I only have one copy of Messenger Lotto left, and I don't want to use that on a Hoot Cake summon. So we're going to detach one from the MX Saber Invoker, and we're going to summon out that Messenger Lotto that I'm kind of waiting for. Messenger Lotto's effect, yes, and we're going to add ourselves a ticket. Activate the ticket. Activate Hoot Cake. Hoot Cake, you know what you do best. We have to leave the Pudding Cess there. And we're going to banish a Garnet because we don't like Garnet. And, okay, so what are we going to summon? We have to summon a level 4. So let's go to Magdalene. Now we have access to Queen Tiramisu. And with Tiramisu, we can definitely do some fun stuff with her. Alright, we're gonna send the Messenger Lotto back into the deck. We will summon again to get ourselves some extra summons. But this is the only way. See, if there's no way to put additional material on the Pudding Cess, I wouldn't even be able to activate the Tiramisu. We're gonna shuffle these two back, and let's not put them in your hand. Well, we can't anyway, we don't have a Chateau yet. And nothing here, and we're gonna shuffle these two back. Great, that's gonna activate. It's a mandatory trigger on the ticket, and Libic's gonna activate. Okay, cool, that's fine. And I'm gonna summon out a Messenger Lotto once again. Yes, summon it. Yes, I would like to search. Yes, I would like to get that extra bit of damage on you. Now I'm gonna activate this. Chateau? Well, do you need to do anything more? No, I just wanted for the extra 2,000 damage boost. And let's proceed to battle phase. We're going to attack this Scarm. So here's the real damage. I'm going to attack. I technically have lethal already. And the rest of this should kill my opponent. Now, if they do have extra bodies, guess what? You still have a Fairy Tail Snow in here. So you can basically be like, oh, okay. It's like the card's banished. One. I have to banish one monster because without banishing a monster, I can't really go far enough. And I have 3 cards in graveyard. Let's take out 1, 2. The Brilliant Fusion's useless. And the monsters I already attacked. Messenger Lotto. Take it. You name it. Let's just get rid of all that stuff. And I still have my extra attack. This is still enough to kill them. And I still have 25 extra damage to go overkill with. And that was a Zoo-less combo. Okay, for this combo, we're going to be going second, and my opponent definitely has a Maxx C right here and 2 Dantes. Let's go into this. We're going to activate the Brilliant Fusion and Madolche Magdalene combo 2. Going second, we're going to go into Tiramisu this time. Perfect with 2 Dantes, right? And, okay, Trick Clown and Garnet will be sent for the Brilliant Fusion. Seraphinite. Seraphinite will... Well, before the Seraphinite does anything, we get the Trick Clown. Using Seraphinite summon, we're going to run something Magdalene. You're usually going to search an Angelique, but we already have a copy of it, so we're just going to search something else. But normally searching Angelique is a pretty safe game, or a Hoot Cake for that matter. The combo works with either. You just need Hoot Kick access. So now we're gonna go with the Angelique. Say we did with the Angelique. That's our second normal summon for the turn, and now we are going to summon out a Pudding Cess. Pudding Cess gives me access to the chocolate Pudding Cess, or Choco a la mode. Let's go French on this one. So Choco a la mode is going to activate her effect to shuffle back in the Angelique because she can do so. That will trigger her. Oh man, she's so triggered, and she's gonna be ditching the Seraphonite. She's throwing a tantrum here to summon out this Hoot Cake. And Hoot Cake is really important because Hoot Cake is gonna give us access, banishing the Garnet to summon the Messengelado. You technically don't really need to run more than one copy of this. Technically, you draw him, you can play with him technically, and we're gonna access Messengelado's effect to get the Chateau. I'm running 2 copies just because. And now we're going to overlay into some Zoodiac stuff. We're going to go into Broad Bowl. We need to take away this Trick Clown for sure. Without the Trick Clown in the way. And alright, we got there. And let's see what we do now. We're going to go into this Broad Bowl. We're going to activate and search ourselves a Fusion sub combo, specifically detaching this Madolche because you can't trigger her without a Madolche card, or not Madolche, but a Madolche card, and we're gonna add the Black Sheep combo. You know what? Let's just get this out of the way because it's kind of annoying. It's just wasting time. Search the Fusion sub to the Black Sheep, and we're gonna move on forward. Now we want an extra material attached onto Choco a la mode, and to do so, it actually, I don't know if I really like to eat up that much of my extra deck space, but I can't really use Tiger Mortar yet because there's no Zoodiac cards in the graveyard. So I'm forced to use a bait card, a fodder card, which will be Hammer Kong for now. Hammer Kong, we're gonna special summon out another Broad Bowl. Broad Bowl is the only one that actually has a proper detaching effect. And this way I'll gain access to Whiptail. Let's detach the Hammer Kong, and let's get ourselves a Whiptail. Has to be a Zoodiac monster. If you don't detach the Zoodiac monster, your combo just dies right here. So does it really die completely? Well, you got Madolche, but your combo will basically end with one less summon. And okay, now we gotta go into the Tiger Mortar. Tiger Mortar, detach. Well, I guess one of the Broad Bowls now, I guess, and we're gonna attach it to the Choco a la mode. And once the Choco a la mode is attached, this is where we can go off a little bit further. Like, oh man, we can't do anything. I can put a Trident on there, but we're not gonna do Trident just yet. We're gonna go activate the Chateau. Man, I'm going nuts right now. Chateau has been activated. Do I want to activate another card? No, I do not. And Chocolate is gonna activate. We're gonna detach that Broad Bowl that we just attached, and we're gonna summon out a second Messengelado, which will fetch us another Chateau. What do you know? Chateau is lovely. Now 2 Chateaus make sense. And from here, there's a reason why I need 2 Chateaus, because how am I supposed to bounce anything if I go into Tiramisu? If I go into Tiramisu right now, which I'm going to do to show you guys, I have no effect. Like, this kind of sucks. Like, really, what am I doing here? Okay, so we're gonna go put the Chateau on Chateau. And don't forget, Tiramisu, her main effect is, basically, would I like to activate another card? No. Her main effect requires you to shuffle back in Madolche cards, and a Chateau, of course, counts as a Madolche card. Now I can actually activate her effect, putting the Messengelado back into the deck, and I am going to put her back in, or him back into the deck, mainly because when Madolche is shuffled from the graveyard to the main deck, then she can trigger. Put it in my hand, I won't get the effect. And we don't want Messengelado in my hand anyway, so do I want to put this in my hand because of Chateau's effect? Well, probably not. Do you want to chain another card? Nope. And return the cards in hand? Nope. And we're going to shuffle these 2. This will cause her to trigger, and now we have access to our zoo stuff. Yes, I would like to activate my effect. And here we go, putting it. Wow, so many triggers. And, alright. This will give me access to the level 3 that I was looking for the longest time. Let's go with Mufoy because I already have it to hand. And now we're going to special summon out MX Saber Invoker. Now, I'm still dealing with the BA board, so let's try and finish with an Abyss Dweller and a Trident at the very least, right, guys? and maybe even put an extra monster on board. But for now, I have a fusion substitute combo to attend to, starting off by activating this, detaching the Mufoy, and now we're going to put out the Rat. This gives us more options to play, of course, and time to play the fusion sub. So right here, I already have about over 5,000 damage, and yeah, let's get rid of these two. And we now have a Norden. Norden's effect. Let's special summon back out at level 4. There's only supposed to be one level 4 in there right now. And we're gonna get the Trick Clown. Hooray. Technically, you can already draw a card from here. And we technically can get lethal very, very quickly from this very point. But we're gonna go into Daigusto Emerald because we're greedy players. Daigusto Emerald has been summoned onto the field, and now we're going to detach. Specifically, you have to, the combo requires you to send that, and now we're going to put back some cards. What are we going to put back? We're going to do another fusion substitute run. If you really want to, you don't have to, but I am going to do so. So we're going to put back a Broad Bull, and a Black Sheep, and the Broad Bull. And sadly for our unshuffled decks, that's going to be the top card that I was going to draw. I tried this many times, I already know it's going to happen. So if I go into Broad Bull again, it's not really going to do anything, and yeah, that kind of sucks. And of course, right now it feels like I'm short monsters, but first of all, let's get our fusion substitute draw. Putting back the Norden. You put back Seraphonite if you want, if you're crazy, but I'm not that crazy. This Chateau won't trigger anything as she does not have any more materials, but if you consider how many cards I put on the field, I still don't have lethal because of that one monster on the field. So to get rid of it, I am going to need to do a fusion sub. Let's get the fusion sub onto the field. And this time, we're going to be special summoning out Laika. And rather than, well, I'm going to activate it. Special summon the Zoodiac Rat, of course. Attach. It's just fodder for now. But Laika does have good uses in the other combo. So, wow, there's so many cards already. And now, from here, I'm going to go into Dryden on this side. I'm going to fuse those two off. Norden. Norden's effect. Let's bring back another level 4. Could bring back the Rat, technically. But, okay. So, let's do this. Trick Clown. 7 cards left. And note that I can still use this monster to attack, and I probably will. Fusion sub. Put the Seraphonite back in. Ooh, another card. I technically have a rank 4 right here, and you know what? Abyss Dweller. Let's detach this Trick Clown. Crazy Clown. I need the Norden in there now. And put this here. Let's detach the Rat. Let's destroy this. And proceed to battle and kill your opponent. Look how many cards I have on the field, and look how many cards I have in my hand. And I did have bad draws in this hand as well, because I forced myself to top deck the same card. I could have actually one extra card here if I did not draw that like Black Sheep, but I did, so life's tough, and now we can kill your opponent without too many worries. Let's kill him. And that would be the going second combo with Tiramisu. Alright guys, now I'm going to share with you guys the deck profile here. We have a pair of Garnets. Don't want to draw these, but you need them for the Brilliant Fusion. Drawing 1, it's okay. Drawing 2, you're pretty screwed. And next monster, we have Madolche Pudding Cess. Don't want to draw this at all. It will cripple your biggest combos, and you just want it in the deck. That's as far as you want her. Maybe we can play Bao Baboon in the future. Next up, we have the Fairy Tale Snow. Fairy Tale Snow is a light monster that you're using it as a variety over just playing a pair of Trick Clowns. You don't want to draw these in particular, but having her in your hand does give you access to a Book of Moon, so not too bad, okay? And if you do draw 2 of these, you still have the Ghost Ogre at the end to kind of get your Brilliant Fusion to go off. Pair of Messenger Lotto, you just want 1 in the deck, but if you do draw 1, hopefully don't draw 2. Drawing 2 will kill you. Drawing 1 is still okay, because you can still get your combos off. And as you can see how many times you draw, it's okay to have 1 or 2 dead cards. Triple Mageline, because she is the bread and butter in combination with the Brilliant Fusion, and she is the searcher of the deck. So her and Brilliant Fusion basically goes off, best friends forever. And I guess if Madeline and the Brilliant Fusion are the bread and butter, this is definitely the jam. Well, technically jelly and jelly. Searcher and combo starter of most of the plays, and you can go into a Hoot Cake, which basically lets you special summon into any of your Madolche monsters, and that also opens up a lot of combos, especially when paired with an Orpheus Scorpio, or even just a Brilliant Fusion itself. Okay, so going into the Mewfoy, the level 3s, Mewfoy and Hoot Cake. Hoot Cake herself now with like just a single copy of Angelique already gives you access to MX Saber Invoker, so you can do zoo plays just from her. And I've been just doing some really elaborate combos that if you know them, great. If you don't, well, it's okay too. You can just play this deck for fun as well. And what else do we got? So a pair of Hoot Cakes. I cut one Hoot Cake down just because I don't want to see a Hoot Cake without anything in the graveyard. That's why I want to see Angelique more than Hoot Cake at like 90% of the time. The Zoo Engine, 1 Whiptail, 2 Rapier. That's it. That's as big as your engine's gonna get because you play it mainly for the fusion substitute loops and draw combos. Or for Scorpio, I really want to bump this up to 3. I just don't have the space for it right now. But in 2 Darlingtonia Cobra. Again, this deck falls under the problem of so many cards I want to shove in the deck and so many cards I don't want to see in the hand. That's why there's that bricking capability that I've been talking about. And if your opponent's down to about 30 cards, you can definitely deck them out through Maxx C, if they Maxx C you. And Ghost Ogre Snow Rabbit, Ghost Ogre, well, Hand Trap, really useful. Might up the count on this, probably should side a couple more, especially with the Draconic Diagrams and stuff going around. 1 Maxx C because it's 1 Maxx C, and you can ditch Maxx C to get your Hoot Kick to go off if you really want to. But you can also do that with a Lunalight Black Sheep. Alright, so Black Sheep, of course, is your fusion substitute combo, instant fusion, because you can technically still search it with the Darlingtonia Cobra if you already have the Brilliant Fusion. And that will extend your combo even further than what I've demonstrated today. And we have a pair of Twin Twisters. You can play 3 if you want to go ham on your opponent. Triple Brilliant Fusion, you want to see this in your opening hand, or you just want this to go off. Going off once already pays off. Even if you have 2 dead copies, it's not even that bad. 1 ticket, 2 Chateau. 2 Chateau is necessary because, as you saw, I've used 2 Chateaus in most of these combos. And, well, it does give you a free monster. Think about Chateau as like an emergency teleport. Like, if you pair it with the Chocolate a la mode, it's E-Telly. And Triple Strike. You can be flexible. I'm not saying this is the best build. This is obviously a flex build. You can change up whatever you want as long as the combos are still intact. You can be as greedy as you want by basically putting in 1 Gem Knight Garnet, 1 Messenger Lotto, 1 Darlingtonia Cobra, and yeah, just hope that you don't draw any of these in your opening plays, and you should be just fine. And then you can put in more traps, or maybe play Upstart. I don't know, up to you. And the extra deck, super tight. There's basically no room, and if you get hit by a Lithosagem, if you don't want to die to a Lithosagem, I suggest putting in a 2nd copy of Gem Knight Seraphonite, because let's face it, ripping out this card will give you 1, 2, 3 dead draws. Ripping out this card with it will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 dead draws. And then ripping out that Trident, well, your zoo combos don't exactly have a solid finish. So basically, you technically have about 9 bad things that could happen to you. 9 cards, so about like 25% of your deck could be dead. Just telling you the honest truth. And so you can consider playing 1 of these, and as you saw before, you can just play purely with just no zoos. It's still a capable deck of doing some pretty severe damage. Alright, so that's it for this deck. If you guys enjoyed it, please give me a thumbs up. I spent a long time learning these combos, researched a lot. And if you enjoyed it, give me a thumbs up. And until next time, I will see you guys, and I'm going to proceed to my end phase. Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you like this video, please drop us a like so we know we are doing a good job, and you can also subscribe to MST.TV for more fantastic videos by clicking on the button on the left. Don't forget to check out our partners at Imperium Duelist. They make really high quality mats, including some of my own limited edition release stuff. And if you want to check out one of our past videos, click here on the right. As always, don't forget to hold on to your MST.TV, and I'll see you next time.